Hello and thank you for joining us in this brand new episode of the program Sport Pizza, where you get the absolute best and ever exciting world of sports. My name is Brownson, Unwana, your host, and lots of things to talk about on the show today. This weekend is going to be a blockbuster for all football fans. Lots of big games across Europe. And of course, for all boxing fans, Anthony Joshua will be going into the ring with Husky this weekend. How would that go? What would you put your money on? Time will tell. We'll be giving you all the analysis on the show. Also, it's buzzing right here in Nigeria, and of course, some Nigerians who have, of course, chosen another international, another national as their country, may just be licking their wounds right now. But we'll let the cat out of the bag. Let's take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll be giving you all the details. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Adeleke Idowu is making his debut on the show. He joins me now. Adeleke, good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me on the show on Sport Pizza. I'm Adeleke Idowu, and we are here to talk sport.
Very well, good to have you, Adeleke. Now, let's start the show in England, where there were lots of VAR controversy last weekend. Now, the game between Manchester City and Southampton saw lots of VAR call. Raheem Sterling scored a goal and was disallowed for offside. And of course, on the flip side, Southampton had a clear-cut penalty. And of course, VAR checked that penalty, Adeleke. Checked it very well, checked it again, and then they called the referee to come and have a second view of that penalty. They looked at the scenario and said it wasn't the penalty. I was shocked at that decision. It just kept me asking the usefulness of VAR, if such decisions can be overturned by VAR.
Well, VAR in England is most important because the way things are being done and things are being put in shape. Talking about football, because controversy there will be a lot of controversy, but VAR is most essential. But Manchester City, being in that game, not a very good one for them, but they did a lot of things that really cost them. They drew at the end of it all at full time. But VAR is most important and very important in football.
So, would you say VAR has really been fair? With all sense of honesty in football, especially in England. We've seen the likes of in Italy. I think the use of VAR, for me, I can give them maybe 85%. You go to Spain, you can give it maybe a 90%. But in England, for me, they're still at 60%. Why is it why do you think VAR hasn't been very, very effective in terms of the decision making in England?
The quality of VAR in England is very poor. I will say very poor, because in Spain, you can see the quality of VAR they use there. They will explain it right from beginning to the end, but the VAR in England is very poor, because things they do there is not something to write off in VAR. So it's not improving. Let me put it that way. It's not improving, but things might actually fall in place when it's maybe for the English, that is in the Premier League side, but for on the Spanish and the Italy side, that is on the Serie A, they are doing things that can really easily be of a good shape to the VAR. But well, let's see what will happen. But things are not being put in place in the Premier League, talking about the VAR itself.
Like, I must tell you that I think these decisions are very easy, because what is video assistant referee? Now, something happens so fast that the eyes cannot catch it at that time. Now, you have an opportunity to rewind. You have an opportunity to slow it down, and you look at it very, very well. I think when it comes to offside, the calls in England, I can give it to them. But there are some certain decisions that have not really gone well. But it's still early days in the season. Last season, we saw Manchester United enjoying the VAR. Maybe I should ask you what club you support.
Barcelona.
Oh, FC Barcelona. Okay, I see. No Messi. People are not winning games. Now, hot spot in England this weekend will be at Stamford Bridge, where Manchester City will be traveling all the way to take on Chelsea, who is in a very good form right now. Now, don't forget that Manchester City have not been very fantastic this season. They've drawn 2 games, and Pep Guardiola doesn't seem very happy. He's also ready to splash the cash in January. Maybe they would go back for Harry Kane, but the goals are really not coming. Now, Now, before the last weekend, they scored 6, but after then, we've not seen much about City this season. Now, if you look at Chelsea, the 3-4-3 formation has become a fortress for them. They've taken every team to the cleaners with that formation. They've won Champions League with that formation, and it looks like they want to win the league with this formation. But if you look at City again, you just can't underrate what Manchester City can bring to the table.
Yes, Manchester City, they can do things that will be unthinkable this season. Because winning the league again this season won't be a very surprise one for me. Because we're just seeing things that the league just started, so the team might just really come in a very good shape for them. Looking at Guardiola itself, Guardiola is a very good coach that can't be on. I just call him unquestionable one, because he works a lot of tactics. So you have a lot of tactics at hand that he can surely put in shape for the team.
But let me shock you. Last season, he played Chelsea, is it 2 or 3 times, and didn't get one victory, not even a draw.
Well, Chelsea this season, they are doing things that it's really, really good, because the things they do this season is very, very fantastic with the new coach that really won the Champions League for them. You can see Lampard didn't do anything with these boys, but this coach coming in, that's Tuchel, and winning the league and winning the Champions League for the same set of players that Lampard has is a very, very good one for him. I will say Chelsea will let me just put it this way: Manchester City.
You think City will shock Chelsea?
Will shock Chelsea.
Oh, okay. I'm waiting for that shock, because last season in the was it FA Cup final? Is it Carabao Cup final? One of those finals. And a lot of people thought that we were going to be shocked. And if you look at the odds for bookmakers, Chelsea was about 4 point something, while City was about 1.50 something. So it shows that the odds favored Chelsea, City to win that game. But of course, they flopped. In the final of the UEFA Champions League, they could barely hit the post. Yes, Chelsea got one shot, got it right. So, I mean, it looks like Chelsea, for me, might just get this one. But on Sunday, this weekend, we are going to see 2 big London rivals slugging it out for a chance. Now, Spurs, in their first 2 games of the season, they won it, and first 3 games of the season, after winning those games, their shoulders were high, but it was brought down last weekend when they lost. They will be taking on Arsenal, who have won their last 2 games. Yes, so yes. I think it's a very good time for Arsenal to be playing this game, even though Spurs will be playing away from home. Arsenal
has been on form now, because winning the 2 games, now it's very big one for them, a very, very big one for the team. So Arsenal, that's the corner side. I think the coach is really doing something now. They are not calling for the head of the coach again. They'll sack him. So he's now doing a lot of things that can actually pan out for the corners side. But let's see what we pan out of this game. But I'm tipping Arsenal to win at the end of it.
Let's look at battle of the midfield. Who do you think has it, Spurs or Arsenal?
And the battle of the midfield, I think it should be Spurs, because there are a lot of players in the midfield for them, Dele Alli and the likes, and the likes. But for Arsenal, they are living up to the brim.
Arsenal has Thomas Partey. You have Odegaard. You have some top guys in Arsenal.
It's true. They have, yes. They have Aubameyang and all that. They can actually utilize the chances for them. But I think Arsenal will win. Yes, Arsenal will win.
All right, let's leave it there, Adeleke. Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Okay, thanks for having me.
All right, at this point, let's take a very quick break. When we come back, I'll be introducing my next guest. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Mbanefo KK joins me at this time. Now, Mbanefo will be looking at the Spanish La Liga, as it is absolutely buzzing at this time. Now, Atletico Madrid, I mean, what we think will have a roller coaster ride last weekend, but they dropped an all-important point. But this weekend, they'll be going up against FC Barcelona, who on the flip side hasn't been fantastic after Lionel Messi left the club side to PSG. Mbanefo, good to have you on the program.
Yeah, it's nice being here again. I haven't been here for like 2 weeks, so it's nice being here again for Sports Pizza.
That's what it is. Now let's talk about things happening in Spain at this time. Now, Spanish football is absolutely buzzing. It looks like we're not going to have 1, 2, or 3 horse race this season, as more teams are showing quality to clinching the title. Now, defending champion Atletico Madrid dropped point last weekend, just when we thought they would get it right. And also FC Barcelona are really not doing well at this time. Now, Madrid seems to be knocking, but I mean, La Liga seems to be very interesting this season, doesn't it?
Yeah, I watched Atletico Madrid game. They were attacking, but they just didn't click. Antoine Griezmann, you know, he has gone back to Atletico Madrid, but he's not doing really well. He was subbed out after 60 minutes because he was inefficient. They brought in João Felix, the guy they bought for 126 million at 17, and he has not really done anything over there. They couldn't score a goal, and it ended 0-0, which was very disappointing for Atletico Madrid.
Sad one for I mean, João Felix. I think he came into the game, got his temper, got the most of him. I think he got the card at some point in that game. But this weekend in Spain, we're going to be seeing massive game of football. Atletico Madrid will be playing FC Barcelona. I mean, it's a fixture that, I mean, you know, it should be one of those fixtures that should point to where the title would go. But in the league where you still have a Real Madrid, I mean, that would be the case. But Atletico Madrid and FC Barcelona, how do you think that game would go?
Personally, right now, the way Barcelona are going, I don't really see them finishing the top 4. They might not finish in the top 4 because the way they are going right now is really bad. Atletico Madrid, I expect them to win that game. At least they are customary 1-0 against Barcelona. Do
you think they were too quick to let Antoine Griezmann and Messi leave? I mean, I thought they should have sold maybe 2, 3, 4 players to keep these 2 guys. I mean, we see the influence of Messi in that team time and time again. You know, I thought they should have at least sold maybe 2. Look at those fringe players that you can use to raise money to keep Messi.
Well, they didn't have a choice. The wages that Messi and Griezmann were on were, should I say,
Messi was willing to say. Messi was willing to take a pay cut.
Messi, yes, but this, even after he took the pay cut, it was still not up to La Liga standard. They were still above the wage bill cap. Same as Antoine Griezmann, they had to let him go because we were making losses. He was earning about £800,000 a week, which is a crazy contract. That was why they let him go, because the former president of Barcelona, Bartomeu, was handing out contracts that didn't make sense. They had to let him go to reduce the wage bill.
Wow, I mean, I can imagine that. But this weekend, Barcelona, if they miss this one, there will be lots of pressure on their coach to deliver. But let's move straight to Italy, where beautiful game of football. Inter Milan, live without Lukaku, seems to be going very, very beautiful for them. Now, when Lukaku left, there were lots of speculations that Inter Milan would struggle. But so far, they've dropped only 1 point this season, and they've been fantastic. On the flip side, last weekend, we saw Roma, who has been fantastic. 3 games unbeaten, got to an end. And who did they lose to? Hellas Verona, who hadn't won a game this season. It was really shocking. And I mean, the biggest game last weekend, we saw AC Milan away from home grabbing an all-important 1 point against Juventus. I mean, Juventus without Ronaldo has been like, you know, an empty paper in a wind. They're just flying, no destination right now for the club.
Well, let me say from Inter Milan, they sold their top scorer Lukaku, they sold Achraf Hakimi. The board said they had to balance the wage bill, they had to sell players because they were making losses, and they brought in Edin Dzeko, which I didn't feel was the right man for them.
But he's scoring the goals. I mean,
he
scored the brace last weekend.
They brought in Denzel Dumfries to replace Hakimi, and he was excellent in that game against last weekend in the 6-3 win. Where Roma, they played well, but Verona were just better, clinical. They scored the goals when it mattered. Roma were not.
I must say that the kind of goal that Chievo Verona scored, even 2 goalkeepers won't have been able to save those goals. They were classic goals. And you also have to look at the fact that Chievo Verona sacked their former manager. They brought in a new coach, and they needed to make statements. And what a way to make statements in front of their home crowd right there. And I mean, Mourinho was just up for the slaughter in that kind of game.
Well, the game, Mourinho was not happy after the end of the game because his team created chances. They were creating chance after chance, but they just didn't seem to score the equalizer. They played well, but Tammy Abraham too missing some chances. You know, he's not still adapting to the life in Italy, but I think they will bounce back. For Juventus, they are not. That was why Ronaldo left the team. They don't have world-class midfielders in that team. They couldn't hold AC Milan even when they were 1-0 up, and they scored. AC Milan equalized 75th minute. AC Milan could have won the game at the death, but the keepers, Szczesny,
was fantastic on the night.
It was fantastic on the night, saving some important balls.
But this weekend, we're going to be seeing one of the classic game of the weekend. We'll see Atalanta against AC Milan. AC Milan again will be on the road against Atalanta.
Atalanta, we all know them. They score freely. They score without fear.
But this season, they've not been that fantastic.
They've lost some players. You know, last season they lost their talisman, Alejandro Gomez, or they call him Papu Gomez. He went to Sevilla because had a fallout with the manager in the Champions League game, and he went to Sevilla in January. And since then, they've struggled to score goals. I don't think they will make top for this, but they will make Europa.
All right, let's see. Now, for team, they have opportunity of Europa and Conference League. So if you can't go to Champions League, you can't go to Europa. At least there's still hope for you. Now, before we take this break, let's look at some Bundesliga. Is absolutely buzzing. Bayern in cruise control, scoring for fun. I think even if I coach Bayern, I should be able to win Bundesliga, right? Thank you very much, Ibanefo, for coming on the program.
It's been nice being here.
At this point, let's take a very quick break, and when we come back, more stories to come. Don't go away. Welcome back. Now, Stephen Abiodun joins me at this time. Stephen, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, Brownson, it's good to be here. You know, I overheard you guys discussing all that happened over the last weekend, and well, for me, I think it was a wonderful weekend with a lot of goals going in there. Bayern Munich winning as much as 7 goals, Chelsea with 3 goals, Liverpool with 3 goals, and all that. Well, for me, I think it's just but something still stands out for me. We still wait to see Messi'S debut goal. What's happening with him in PSG?
Talking about Messi, we saw the drama that happened between he and his manager after he was being substituted, and it begins to ask a lot of questions if Mauricio Pochettino can really manage that ego of Messi. Don't forget that Messi in Barcelona was a lord, was a god, was a demigod.
Of course.
Whether he plays well or not, he doesn't get sub, because Messi is that kind of magical player that he plays 80%, is not magical, and he has one moment of magic. He might be on the 92nd minute, and he can bring about the goal.
You know, the only player I can put on the same pedestal as Messi right now, I think, is just Ronaldo. That you know that at any point in time, their magic, the spark for their magic can come in at any time. And such players, they are big time players. That you know, they want to play 90 minutes all the time, and a lot of coaches can't even manage their ego. They can't manage them easily because you know they have a lot to offer. So for me, I think it will take a lot from Pochettino to really manage Messi in PSG.
I wait to see how well he will manage him. But let's talk about things happening in Nigeria. Finally, the Nigerian Football Federation honored the class of 1999 of the Super Falcons who got to the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. That was in 1999. And it bothers me why it took them this long, you know, to finally see that those ladies or women, now they are women, deserve to be honored. Maybe if another team had gone to the semi-finals, those ladies would have been forgotten. Whatever it is, I think it took so long. But sometimes they say never say better late than never. That's what it is.
For me, Brownson, you see, there's something that have been consistent with this Nigerian government, not the current regime. Consistent with all the regimes we have had. When players go out there to do their magic, when you promise to honor them, I think it should be timely, because as at that time, that's when they need it. And if you check it out, it's about 22 years since you promised these ladies. Now they are women. Probably some of them might be even grandmothers.
Yeah,
now.
Of course, most of them.
Today, you are just honoring them in this period for over how many years, and that's really, really wrong for me. If you want to honor anybody, honor him when it is due, not when it is long overdue. For me, this is long overdue for them.
Long overdue indeed, and maybe we should say thank you to NFF for finally, recognizing these ladies. But we hope that these things will be timely for our future players. Now, let's talk about boxing. This weekend, we are going to be seeing the Clash of Titans this weekend, as Anthony Joshua will be in the ring with Alexandra Usyk, and there's going to be a classic bout. We've waited for it for a long time. Now, when we say we've waited for it, it's not Tyson Fury, but I've been waiting to see Anthony Joshua back in the ring, and this weekend we're going to be seeing that.
Yeah, actually, the fight everybody was actually looking forward before was the fight between Joshua and Tyson Fury, which eventually then happened as Tyson Fury had to fight Deontay Wilder first. But hopefully we are waiting to see that probably at the end of the year, if Tyson Fury eventually won that fight, him and Joshua could still fight. But right now we are looking at Joshua and Alexandra
Usyk.
For me, that's going to be a very, very classic and tough fight, considering that the two of them, the way they fight differ from each other. Usyk can absorb a lot of blow, for me. So that will be Joshua's great undoing, the ability to be consistent with his blows within. When we look at their fighting career, Usyk has gone 18 fights and won all of them. Never loses, hasn't lost anyone. And considering Joshua, who has lost one out of 25 fights, and which that one, considering the fact that he lost against Andy Ruiz Jr., somebody who everybody has seen that no, he shouldn't be in the class of Joshua. That's if Joshua has to lose to anybody, not to such person for me. So you know, this for me, I think is just a way to repair his image that have actually been a little bit dented in the media. And if he is able to overcome Alexandra, I think he at the end of the day, he might be where every one of us expect him to be, considering there are 4 belts that he's putting at stake for this. So for me, I just hope that Joshua will be able to put on all it will take, all it needs to win this particular fight for him.
That's what it is. I hope that Joshua will also make all his fans in Africa and all around the world proud as well. Thank you very much, Stephen, for coming on the show today.
You're very much welcome, guys.
All right, with that, the wrap on the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Now, don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms currently displaying on your screen. Now, also go to YouTube, type Sport Pizza, click subscribe, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget, you can also drop comments on any of our videos. My name is Brownson Unwana on behalf of all the production crew. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest of your day.